Greetings, everyone. Good evening and happy Human Light 2021, everyone. It's so good to be here, and we are proud to present this year's 20th Human Light celebration tonight. It's been a crazy year, and we've been pandemicking for quite a long time. So it's good to be here. We're online, but we're glad to be here and glad to celebrate and share with one another in this space. My name is Rogiérs, and some of you all may know me from a number of places in the secular humanist community, Black Nonbelievers of DC among one of them. And I've got a lot of names, and I know some of you all may be confused. So we'll just say that tonight you can call me Ro, and it's good to be here. Rogiérs is a name, call me Ro. All right? Listen, for 20 years, Human Light has been celebrated and shaped into our very own tradition. Every year around December 23rd, Human Light celebrates humanism's positive, secular vision of reason, compassion, and hope. It's a time of reflection on the year ending and preparing for the year ahead. Tonight, we continue our special tradition online, and before we get going, we want to acknowledge some of the participation from the sponsors that have helped to make tonight possible for all of us and for our performers who are going to be here. They are the American Ethical Union, American Humanist Association, Baltimore Coalition of Reason, Black Nonbelievers, Foundation Beyond Belief, Freedom from Religion Foundation, the Freethought Society, New Jersey Humanist Network, Secular Coalition of America, and the Washington Secular Humanists, Washington Area Secular Humanists. Full disclosure, any remaining contributions for those of you who all have made contributions will be going to Foundation Beyond Belief, and you can still support this event and the Foundation Belief by donating to the link. We're going to make sure that that's provided for you in the chat, but it is a bit link, bit.ly/humanlight 2021. We'll put that in the chat for you all if you're interested in continuing to make contributions. We're getting some guidance tonight on hope, compassion, and reason with an exciting lineup. We've got the program director for the Humanist Global Charity. We've got a candle lighting ceremony. We've got a digital artist who's going to share some creative DIY decorations. And we've got poems and poetry on the meaning of human light. All right? So we've got a nice, eventful program for you tonight. And we're going to get started. So we're going to go to our global perspective on human light with our friend Hank from the Humanist Global Charity, Hank Pellissier. He's the program manager of that Humanist Global Charity. And we're going to get started with him and turn live to our very first presenter. Hank?
Hi. Thanks for having me here. Yes, I am Hank Pellissier. I'm the founder and program director of Humanist Global Charity. The executive director is Phil Zuckerman, and two of our board members are Daniel Dennett and Stephen Pinker. We've been a nonprofit since 2013. Our original name was Brighter Brains Institute, but we changed it 2 years ago to indicate our humanist and humanitarian goals. Our primary missions are to promote secular education, to assist humanists in poverty, and to promote health and humanist activism. Our budget is around $100,000 a year. We've worked in about 50 nations, but each year we kind of focus on 8 or 10. We only offer small grants between $100 and $300, and this is to guarantee our donors that our projects will actually be completed. I'm going to give you a list of what we're doing exactly like right now. We help impoverished orphans, widows, LGBT, refugees and Dalits, untouchables, and Adivasi indigenous people in India. We also provide workshops in critical thinking, entrepreneurship, sex education, and computer training. And we provide food, clothing, shoes, sandals, sanitary pads, sewing machines, and a lot of other kinds of machines like corn and peanut butter grinders, rickshaws, things like that. In 2022, we will work in Uganda, Nigeria, Zambia, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and Mexico, and Vietnam. So I'm going to quickly explain our projects in each nation. In Uganda, we built and support 4 secular schools, 2 secular orphanages, and 2 safe houses for women and girls. And we support 6 women worker collectives. And we also built a Christopher Hitchens library, a Richard Dawkins science laboratory, and an Alan Turing computer lab. In Kenya, our only project at this time is we co-sponsor an orphanage with Center for Inquiry. In Nigeria, we're very active. We built a safe house there that Mubarak Bala lived in until he was arrested. He's no longer there. We hope to get him back. We also established a World Peace Internet Cafe and an ice cream factory that is staffed by widows from a refugee camp, and they're widows because their husbands were killed by Boko Haram. We also provide blankets and mosquito nets to abandoned street kids, and we provide help for malaria, cholera, and we provide dental care. And we've also provided more critical thinking workshops in Nigeria than any other place, and we've spent about $5,000 in small grants for LGBT. In Zambia, we just provide small entrepreneur grants to humanists. India is our biggest area right now. We support 2 secular schools that are directed by an atheist ex-journalist. We also fund an anti-caste theater troupe in Uttar Pradesh, and we fund a tent village of untouchables. And we fund a widow whose ex-Muslim husband was assassinated by Muslim extremists. And we provide a lot of vocational classes in Mumbai slums. And we have a very recent safe house for girls, and that's up in the Himalayas. In Nepal, we provide a lot of sanitary pads that are hiked into remote villages in the Himalayas. We also provide school supplies to girls, warm clothes to orphans, and kerosene to Dalits, and we have a humanist library. In Bangladesh, we just do one thing. We provide sewing machines to impoverished widows and rickshaws to impoverished widowers. And in Myanmar, that's a very interesting country to work in. We have to send the money not to Myanmar, but to bank accounts in either Thailand or Australia. And all we do there is we fund a refugee camp in the jungle, and we fund a safe house for abused women and girls. That's it. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.
Thank you, Hank, for such great information on what's going on in the globe and the critical work that you all are doing at the Humanist Global Charity. We're going to turn now to our friend that we have in the wings, Patrick Colucci, who's going to say some words for us about the 20th anniversary of HumanLight. As we said, this is the 20th year, and we're going to turn it now to Patrick Colucci.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Patrick Colucci, chair of the HumanLight Network, and so happy to be with you all today. What we do with our HumanLight Network is we help to spread information and awareness about the HumanLight holiday globally. We run the HumanLight Facebook group, which is just called HumanLight, and also the website humanlight.org. And we do outreach to the news media and the community in general to help spread awareness of the holiday. I encourage you to check out the Facebook group and the website as well for more information. So what is HumanLight, right? Many of you probably already know, but HumanLight is a secular December holiday created in 2001, and it's now celebrated around the world by thousands of people. This year is the 20th anniversary. It's a holiday designed to celebrate and express positive humanist ideals and values such as reason, compassion, hope, and humanity. With HumanLight, we celebrate and express a positive secular vision of a better future, a future where all people can identify with each other and try to behave with high moral standards, a future which we believe people can build by working together for a happy, just, and peaceful world, drawing upon the best of our human nature and human capacities. It's based on the idea that the hope for humanity's future depends on human accomplishments guided by our unique human capacities for reason and compassion. Now, you're about to see a short video that was just completed last week by the New Jersey Humanist Network, where the holiday originated 20 years ago. And I want to briefly highlight something that is not in this video, but is very important. And that's some of the humanist leaders who've supported celebrating HumanLight over these last 20 years. The late, great Dr. Paul Kurtz, for example, one of the greatest American humanist leaders. He attended the very first celebration of HumanLight in 2001, as well as the 10th anniversary in New Jersey. Roy Speckhart, Maggie Ardiente, and many others with the American Humanist Association, which has supported HumanLight in many important ways since 2004, including with this event today and the great work of Emily Newman on the Zoom events both last year and today. Fred Edwards, Rabbi Sherwin Wine, Margaret Downey, Emil Volchek in the Baltimore region. I'm sure many of you know these leaders. Barry Klessel, the humanist chaplain at Rutgers University. Ron Steelman, who produced the first professional video back in 2009. Barry Seidman from the Center for Inquiry of New Jersey, who helped organize the first few events back then. And so many others, all the leaders and volunteers really from the New Jersey and Pennsylvania humanist groups who got this whole ball rolling 20 years ago. I know I've left out many names, so my apologies, please, but time is short here. So I thank you all for being here today. I hope you enjoy this program, and happy HumanLight.
For much of the world, including here in the United States, late December is a time for holiday celebrations. Work life and schools stop. Families and friends gather. Goodwill is expressed, and religious values are reaffirmed. But what do you do if you're a humanist? Well, you might go along with the majority and attend a religious holiday event and keep your humanist ideas and values to yourself. Or you might organize or attend a secularized version of one of these traditional holidays, keeping some of the rituals, foods, songs, and games that are not directly tied to a religious meaning. You might choose to make the winter solstice your December holiday, or even go as far as to celebrate the joke holiday Festivus that was featured on the Seinfeld television program. But none of these alternatives present an opportunity to express our specifically humanist values, or to form bonds among like-minded thinkers, or to set an example for our children, or to let the public know that humanists proudly reside in their communities. Which is why, 20 years ago, some of us began a new holiday for humanists called HumanLight. The first HumanLight celebration, which took place in Verona, New Jersey, elicited a strong response. More people came than could be comfortably seated in the space that had been reserved. The event featured music, food, fun, an invocation from a humanist celebrant, and a talk by late renowned humanist leader, Dr. Paul Kurtz. In the following years, celebrations across the United States, Canada, England, and other nations have taken place in hotel ballrooms, community centers, restaurants, and private homes. Original music has been written to celebrate HumanLight, and HumanLight has received national press attention. In various locations over the past 2 decades, groups gathered every year for drinks or dinner to wish each other happy HumanLight. Families and individuals continued to decorate their homes and hold personal traditions to mark the occasion. Then, in 2020, when coronavirus eliminated the option of having social gatherings, a coalition of local groups and individuals joined together to sponsor an online HumanLight Fest. This year, 2021, the number of sponsors of online HumanLight has grown and the celebratory activities are more elaborate. So, what can we say about the past and future of HumanLight? Certainly, when we first started, we had high hopes. We imagined that humanists everywhere would jump at the opportunity to participate in a unique expression of humanism during a culturally mandatory holiday season when humanists could feel isolated and left out. After all, there is a long-established history of rituals and ceremonies created and supported by the Freethought community. It turns out we were a bit impatient. A few humanists objected to HumanLight as too similar to what religious people do, and some had a long-standing tradition of celebrating the solstice as the only alternative December holiday for them. But if you are watching this video, we hope that you are or will become an enthusiastic supporter of celebrating the HumanLight holiday and endorsing the values it promotes. Reason, our unique human ability that allows us to transcend some of the physical and psychological limits that we inherit as biological beings. Although we are creatures whose beliefs and practices are initially installed in us by the people who raise us and the culture that surrounds us, reason enables us to replace dogma, unreflective acceptance of tradition or authority, and bad habits with better ways of thinking and acting. At the same time, reason also recognizes its own limits in making ourselves anew, and it brings us to acknowledge that differences among persons, differences among groups, and conflict are all inevitable. Reason tells us that peace and global well-being is only possible through the patience, tolerance, and forgiveness that comes with compassion. We who celebrate HumanLight today look forward to the day when the people of the world acknowledge that the proper balance of reason and compassion is what gives us hope for the future of humanity.
I want to make sure before we move on to do a couple of things. I want to make sure we give some special shout outs. We got some friends that are joining us tonight that have been really helpful in helping this production go on. And I want to give one of those acknowledgments to the Lehigh Valley Humanists. They have been watching. They've got a huge group of folks watching live on a big screen in Lehigh Valley, and they're celebrating HumanLight with us. And not to be alone or outdone, we've got the Cleveland Humanist Alliance as well, and they are watching and celebrating HumanLight along with us tonight. So hey everybody in Lehigh and Lehigh Valley and Cleveland, happy HumanLight. Next up we've got some young authors, some very talented authors, and I can attest to that myself. They are sisters Elle and Bailey Harris, and they're going to offer a HumanLight candle lighting that recognizes compassion, reason, and hope. Because for this day, we light candles rather than curse the darkness. We light candles to symbolize lighting the way forward for a better future for humanity and the planet. And as I said earlier, they are very, very talented. I want to make sure that I do a little plug for them. Elle and Bailey are authors, published authors, and I have some of the collection of their works here, and I've got two nephews and a niece that are going to be I'm going to be sharing this with. So if you've got some young ones who are celebrating HumanLight with you today, you'll want to check out these books. We've got Stardust, we've got Elle, the Humanist, Stardust Explores Earth Wonders, and another book, My Name is Stardust. And there is a website, so I'll be sure to mention the website on the other side of their presentation. But let's turn our attention to the young authors, the young talented authors.
I light this candle in honor of celebration of reason. May humanity remain curious, skeptical, creative, and logical. May the light of reason illuminate our path in life. May, as we, a community, continue to discover truth as we wonder about life, the universe, and our place in it.
I light this candle in honor and celebration of compassion. May we always show care for others, our planet, and ourselves. May the light of compassion continue to guide us in our time here on Earth. May, as a community, continue to help often to make our world a better place.
I light this candle in honor of celebration of humanity's hope for the future. May we never lose hope, even when the outlook seems dark. May the light of hope continue to shine brightly on each of us. May, as we a community, continue to live better, as we labor to create a world in which we want to live.
Thank you, Elle and Bailey. Wonderful, wonderful. Happy Human Light to you. Once again, be sure to pick up their books. Their website is stardustscience.com, and we'll have a little bit more of that in the chat for you. Next, we have a very talented digital artist, someone else who I can attest to their work. She's an editor featured in the Human Light decorations video, and she shared her personal decorations last year at last year's Human Light, and she's back this year to reach out to other Human Light fans for more variety and to share some more decorations for all of us in 2021. So I want to turn that over to our digital artist, Emily Wilson.
Hello, fellow humanists. My name is Emily, and today I'm going to give advice on how to decorate for Human Light. Let's get started. At the bare minimum, a Human Light decorative display would be a set of 3 to 4 candles, but if you want something more elaborate, then you definitely need to plan ahead. Take the following into consideration: room space, budget, time, ideas and references for inspiration, and a priority list. If you procrastinate, then you will most likely have to scale down. But if you plan early, then not only will you have enough time to bring your ideas to life, but you will also have enough time for any additional ideas you want to implement. Also, for any newcomers, if you're watching this video just a few days before or right after Human Light, don't panic. You can still map out your timeline by planning for next year. This is especially beneficial to do right after the holidays have ended because many stores will have holiday decorations like ornaments and lights on clearance. While you are planning, it's also important to heavily emphasize that there is a basis you should absolutely use to liven up any environment, which is the Human Light color scheme. The main Human Light colors are red, yellow and gold, and blue. Not only should you use that scheme in your decorations, but make sure your items are also vibrant and saturated, because a collection that's mostly dull or faded will not look striking. Another aspect of Human Light decor I highly recommend is assigning those 3 colors to the 3 main values, which are reason, compassion, and hope. There is no official color set for each value, so this is entirely up to your own interpretation. Some people will include humanity as a 4th optional value in their decorative displays. If you decide to include humanity, then I would use white while saving the 3 primary colors for the 3 main values. Okay, now that you understand both planning and core decorating principles for Human Light, it's time to be creative. If you're not sure how to add unique elements to your display, then you should direct your vision to personal interests. These can include skills, hobbies, favorite decor items, positive memories from this year, seasonal, etc. If you want to see what a DIY Human Light display looks like, I'll give you a tour. My display extends between 2 different rooms, the dining room and the arcade. I'm heavily going off the color scheme and values by using color theory to assign blue for reason, yellow and gold for compassion, red for hope, and white for humanity. In the arcade, I have table and shelf displays dedicated to certain colors with a wide variety of items. Other room additions include a tree, a wood-stained medallion, and a poster illustration. The dining room is where I proudly show off my candle display. Other dining room additions include baskets, decorative stars, and 3 decorated shelves that come with electronic candles. So let's light it up for reason, compassion, and hope. But hey, don't just follow my lead. Let's visit other people's displays. This is Corey Franklin's gorgeous dining table. This table is an outstanding example of how to work with color and assign them to the values. To accessorize her display, Corey added fairy lights. She also shows her love for vases and plants and even included seasonal touches such as pine cones, snowflakes, ornaments, snowmen, and a table wreath centerpiece. Up next is Kelly Schultz's display, and how cute is this? On both sides of her candle display are two animal plushies. Bonus points for having the elephant and lion in human light colors too. I also love the pine cones, the sliced fruit, and cinnamon sticks as accessories. Finally, we're going to think outside the box by decorating digitally with Gwen Seymour. You heard that right. Since some individuals and organizations celebrate virtually, Gwen made digital decor by creating an animated GIF of her visually stunning human light painting. A great, versatile way to adapt decor in virtual spaces. I hope you found this video to be useful. Thanks for watching, have fun decorating, and happy Human Light!
Thank you, Emily, and happy Human Light to you, and wonderful skills, wonderful animations and talents that you have. So thanks for sharing that with us. Like I said earlier, if you're just joining us, we are celebrating Human Light, the 20th anniversary of Human Light. My name is Ro. We're excited to be here. And if you have just joined us, you haven't missed too much because we've got a lot more in store for you. I want to make sure that since Emily was talking about what she did last year, that we mentioned that the Human Light 2020 celebration is available online on YouTube. And you can find that through a link, which we'll also be sure to post in the chat, so that if you missed it, you can check out Emily's decorations that she did last year and you can compare and contrast a little bit. All right. We are also on Facebook, and so you can find Human Light's Facebook group as well on Facebook or Meta or whatever they're calling themselves today. I'm not sure, but you can find that group as well, and so we'll make sure that we put that link also in the chat so you can keep up with us. All right, now we're going to turn to one of my good friends who's going to make a beautiful presentation. She is Margaret Downey, and she's the founder and president of the Freethought Society. Many of you, I'm sure, know who she is. She's going to be adding some new decorations to the Society's Tree of Knowledge, and they will convey the meaning of human light. Hey, Margaret.
Hey.
Hi.
Thanks, Ro. You know, some of you have already noticed the Tree of Knowledge featured in the background of my Zoom setting. So thanks for the messages and the chat. I'll get to you as soon as I'm done. The Tree of Knowledge is a secular winter symbol that was created in 2007. And since that time, the Tree of Knowledge has been part of many Human Light celebrations around the country. And I'm so pleased to share it with you today. Now, each year, I ask the American Humanist Association if the organization would like to add any new books to the Freethought Society's Ornament Scan library. And this year, we're adding 2 new books. The first is Justice-Centered Humanism: How and Why to Engage in Public Policy for Good, written by my dear friend, Roy Speckhart. The next one we're adding is Fully Human, Fully Alive, a human model. And this book is authored by Lyle Simpson. Now I'm going to be placing these ornaments on the Tree of Knowledge after I convey Human Light sentiments taken from a speech delivered by Australian secular celebrant Dali Messenger. Now, we think Dali's words best describe the meaning of human light. He said, "We call this holiday Human Light because just as we are aware of how the sun brings light and life to the physical universe, we realize that human beings can bring light and life to one another. Many of us call ourselves humanists. This means that we are dedicated to bringing light to our fellow human beings. The light we bring, we call reason. The use of reason means applying the clearest and best thinking we have to guide our way through life's challenges. The life we bring is the love, the hope, and the compassion we have for our fellow human beings, our neighborhood, our environment, and our world. We know that life brings sorrows, but it also brings its moments of happiness, enriching relationships, fun, and laughter. Human light means all these things. We get our light and love from our own experiences. That human light comes from carefully listening to the best thoughts and insights from all kinds of sources. Thus, we live life as happily and responsibly as we can, and we bring to others and to ourselves all the joy we can. In short, we try to be enlightened, to bring to our local circle, as well as our world, that humanity and light, which mirrors the beauty and the color of the morning sunrise. We believe this is a good way to live, the best way to live. We feel good about this. We feel honest, authentic, and comfortable. We are well aware that we are often very fragile on our own. So most importantly of all, we need to bond, connect with, and share with others. That is why our relationships with our loved ones, with our friends, and with the people who share our values are the most important things in our lives. This is why we are here together today. We are here to celebrate each other, to create and strengthen bonds, enjoy each other's company, and have fun with each other during this traditional holiday season. Now that concludes Dolly's sentiments. And now I will light this candle. This candle symbolizes our one human family and our combined hope for the future, our use of reason, and our compassion for one another. I got it. So thank you for listening, and back to you, Ro.
Thank you, Miss Margaret. Wonderful, wonderful candle. Thank you for sharing the meaning of human light with us. Station break, another one. Let's say I mentioned, or Miss Margaret mentioned, the meaning of human light. So for the meaning of human light, fine arts, environmentalism, the philosophy of human light, and a number of other subjects, we're going to expound on that a little bit more, once again, on the other side of the high point of tonight's celebration. So stay with us, don't go anywhere. We're going to have a little bit more opportunity to get into the specifics of what Margaret was talking about just now. Next, we have Dr. Victoria Noquez. She's going to amaze us with magic. Some of you may know her. If you don't, she does magic tricks, and she uses cards, ropes, cups, and she's based in Bloomington, Indiana, where she works as a professor of mathematics. And Dr. Victoria has been featured multiple times in the close-up gallery at the world-famous Magic Castle, and she's a longtime member and magician at the Academy of Magical Arts. So, with that, if you're ready for some magic tricks and some thinking, because this is going to be a little tricky, let's give a hand to Dr. Noquez as she joins us on the online stage.
Hi, my name is Tori, and I'm a magician. I want to thank you so much for having me at your amazing event. Happy Human Light. It's such an honor to be here. And I thought I would share a few things with all of you. Let's start with this. This is kind of my main object of study, a deck of playing cards. So I hope you're all familiar with there's different suits, different values. And I thought I'd start with a bit of a like demonstration about shuffling. So I'm going to need to select a card for this. Of course, if you were all here with me, I would have one of you pick a card, but we'll just use 4 of hearts right on top. Okay, so don't forget we selected the 4 of hearts. And start by losing that right into the middle of the deck, like so. All right, and let's talk about some different ways to shuffle a deck of cards. Now, of course, there's the classic ripple shuffle, And it can actually be mathematically proven you have to perform that 7 times in order to properly randomize a deck. But who has time for that? There's also the classic overhand shuffle. It's a good way to mix up cards. And then there's a shuffle like this that I hope none of you are doing in your everyday use of cards. This shuffle where you kind of turn them going different directions. Because this is not something anyone should ever do to a deck of cards. It renders them in what we might deem a bit of an unusable configuration, where they're all going different directions. Okay, this should make you mad. Because this is not an appropriate thing to do to anyone's deck of cards, especially if it's not even yours. Don't ever like go to someone's house and do this. Like, they don't want to cut their cards and have them back to back or face to face. That's okay. I hope you all agree with me. But don't worry, we can fix this. It's just a little wave and a little snap. And now they should all be going the right way. Oh, wait, we missed one. So close. The 4 of Hearts, we found it. Oh, yeah. You know, this is, actually, you know what, while we have it out, let's do something else with this 4 of Hearts. Let's try this. I'm gonna lose this 4 of Hearts into the middle of the deck again. This time we'll just give them a little cut and complete the cut. Okay, so that 4 of Hearts is in the middle and it's face down this time. So I'm gonna need to call on my assistant. I've had to be a little creative with assistants in recent times, so I'm gonna introduce you to my guy. This is Mr. Moon. He's just a little moon. And he has a really special skill. He's really good at finding cards based just on the backs of the cards. Now, the 4 of Hearts, we put it face down in here. And if we look at the backs of these cards, they all kind of look the same. But Mr. Moon came prepared for this exact situation because he brought his 3D glasses. So let's get those put on him. There we go. There it is. Oh, so handsome. Now, if you have your 3D glasses at home, now's a really good time to put them on. But if you don't happen to have a pair, that's okay. Mr. Moon's got us covered. So he's going to look through the backs of these cards and let us know if one of them maybe looks a little bit different. Okay, so let's take a look. Now, I don't know about you all, they kind of look the same to me. Anything standing out yet? No? You think they all look the same? Oh, what's that, Mr. Moon? Okay. All right. I don't know about you guys. He thinks that this card looks a little different than this card. He's the one with 3D glasses though, so I guess we should trust him. Let's see how he did. If that card, oh my gosh, Mr. Moon, you did it! It's the 4 of Hearts! And he says the back looks different than the other ones. Oh, way to go, Mr. Moon. Thank you for helping. Oh, so good. So let's get those 3D glasses off of you. And see, here's the thing. As soon as he takes those 3D glasses off, that 4 of Hearts is going to look just like all the other cards again. Oh, well, thank you for your help, buddy. Maybe we'll call on you again a little bit later. But let's try something a little bit different. Now, I thought I'd let you all know a little bit more about myself. I'm not a full-time magician. I'm a mathematician. I am a professor at Indiana University, right here in Bloomington, Indiana. So I thought it'd be pretty fun if I included a little bit of a math lesson for all of you using this piece of rope. So don't worry, it's gonna be fun. It won't be hard. Here we go, let's start with this. So this is a single piece of rope. Yeah? And if I were to cut this rope in one spot, I should get 2 pieces of rope, right? Okay, so that's not hard. This is a little bit trickier though. If I cut this rope in 3 places, I should get 4 pieces of rope. Now, whenever I pose that question to an audience, someone really confidently says 6 every single time. I don't know why, it's not correct, but if you thought it was 6, that's okay. It's an easy and common mistake to make. Can you tell that I teach? Okay, so look, if you cut the rope in n places, you should get n plus 1 pieces. Yeah? We're learning combinatorics now. All right, let's do an example. I'm gonna go ahead and let n equal 2. So I'm gonna cut this in 1, 2 places. And you can count them with me at home if you'd like. That should give us 1, 2, 3 approximately equal lengths of rope. Now, okay, I understand that you probably didn't tune into this super fun event on a Saturday night to learn math. So let's switch gears a little bit. I will instead teach you how to create a rope illusion. Yeah? Does that sound fun? Okay, cool. So before turning on my camera, I would take one of these lengths of rope and wind it up in my hand like so. And if I do this, and if I fold one of these ends down, it creates a really convincing rope illusion that I've got these longer pieces and this one little short piece. But you all know the mechanism of the illusion. The little short piece is just rolled up into my hand. Yeah? So here's the thing though. If you sort of wiggle the ends and like believe in yourself, it really looks like there's a little short piece of rope in the mix. Ah, I know, that's weird, right? So I hope everybody understands the system. All I have to do is fold one end down and one end up. It's very convincing. It really looks like you've got this big long piece of rope and like they're all these different lengths. I know, right? It's not even on screen, it's so long. It's cool, right? Yeah. But here's the issue with this, is that what did we learn how to create here? This was a rope illusion, right? Where there are these three different lengths of rope. So I'm going to go ahead and return us to rope reality. It's not nearly as catchy, but all I have to do is gather the ends and give them a little tug, a little snap. That's my favorite part, because now we should once again have three approximately equal lengths of rope. Alrighty, well, I have one more thing to share with you all. I hope you're having as much fun as I am. And this is a demonstration with the 4 aces. Now, aces are like really special cards. They frequently win at like card games, yeah. They also lend themselves really well as sort of symbols of important concepts, okay? In particular, the ace of spades is like really special. It's got like the bicycle logo, yeah? All right, so we're gonna let this ace of spades represent the various humanist and secular organizations across the country which are sponsoring this incredible event. We're just gonna keep that right there. Okay, so ace of spades, important organizations. And we're gonna let these 3 other aces represent the themes of tonight's event. So these ones are gonna be hope, reason, and compassion. So keep an eye on those as we work through our demonstration here. All right, so we've got hope, the ace of diamonds, reason, the ace of clubs, and compassion, the ace of hearts. Okay, so I'm gonna just take this ace of spades and I'm gonna turn it face down right here. So this is these secular and humanist organizations doing such great work. We're just gonna put it right there. And I'm gonna call my guy, Mr. Moon, back up here. Hey, buddy. And he is just gonna keep that ace of spades safe for us. Okay, so let's start with the first ace, the ace of diamonds, which is, what do we say? This one is hope. Very important. I'm just gonna turn that hope card over and give it a little wave over that ace of spades. And if we get that right, that ace of diamonds should have vanished. I know, it's a little bit spooky, right? Don't worry, we've got 2 more. It's all good. Next, we've got the ace of clubs, and this one is going to represent reason, which I'm a big fan of, especially as a mathematician. So let's just give that one a little wave over the ace of spades, and that ace of clubs should also now be gone. All right, last one, compassion. We have the heart representing compassion. It's perfect. So I'm just going to bury that in this little stack here. Give it a little wave. Give it a little more. And that ace of hearts, hopefully, our compassion card for now is gone. Okay. So I hope you've all been kind of keeping an eye on this ace of spades this entire time. Mr. Moon definitely has. He's been keeping it safe for us. So our ace of spades, representing all of your great organizations all around the country, was just sitting right here on top. And then gathered around it, we should hopefully find the cards for hope, reason, and last but not least, compassion. It's all here. So thank you so much for having me. Again, thank you for all the incredible work you do. Happy Human Light and happy holidays. Thanks again.
Thank you, Dr. Noquez. The trickery. The trickery. I am, I shouldn't be astounded, but I'm astounded by even the simplest of tricks. Full disclosure. And I'm not that great at math, but I am in awe. And so we appreciate you sharing your tricks with us. And I guess we'll just try to figure it out one way or another how you got those ropes to do those things. Station break one more time. I want to make sure that everybody who knows, especially if you've just joined us, that you know that we are going to enjoy one another's company. If you can, if you have time, we're going to spend a little time chatting and fellowshipping with one another. And we've got some special rooms where we can make that happen. So we're going to move on into some song, okay? We're going to move on into a little song and show. And in my other life, I am an artist. I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, musician, and producer. And so maybe only a couple of, just looking at the chat, only a couple of you all know that. But the secret is now out, or at least it will be after this next song. Take a look at this.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Yeah. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Even no possessions. I wonder if you can. Yeah. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, yeah, but I'm not the only one.
Thank you, Ro.
Thank you.
Beautiful, inspiring vision of that classic song. And you'll hear them once more when we come back from our break. But now I'm going to hand it back to our wonderful host, Rogiérs, for our toast to send us off into the new year with a positive vibe. Ro?
Positive vibes is right. That's right. This is the fun part, everybody. A toast was mentioned, so this is a good time to get your glass, and if you have something to put in it, hopefully, whether it's alcoholic or not, fill it up. And we're going to say on 3, we're going to say Happy Human Light and toast, and like you said, bring in 2022. Okay? All right. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. Happy Human Light.
Happy Human Light.
Happy Human Light, everybody. All right.